Okay, so welcome. Good morning. Thank you for starting your week with me. My name is Christy Denny's. We also have Connie Nieto. She's available for you guys in the chat. So you have two instructors that are able to help you today. This class is called Rentals, Short-Term, Research, Marketing, and more. So we're hoping to jump into many products and services that can help you with your rental transactions and help you with your business. The first thing that we want to talk about today is really important to us on behalf of the association as well as RPAC. And that section is right in the middle of that homepage. It's called Housing Funds for Housing. I also want to let you guys know that this class, we've had it before. It's a brand new class this month, but Connie did a great job of teaching it last week, and she was able to put that up for you. So it is recorded. You can take notes during this class or you can rewatch it. This particular class will be available for you, hopefully within the next week or so. You can find all of our classes that have been recorded inside of our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/trainers. So I wanted to show you that you have it available. You also have it available inside of Miami Realtors Live. Now that we're on this page, we do want to talk about that housing initiative that we're getting ready to kick off, or that we've already started. We've gotten some great traction on it, and I wanted to give you some information about it since we're all in this industry. Initiative that I was talking about, the Housing Funds for Housing. If you were to click on this link, it is going to take you over to this homepage. You will have additional information about that petition. You can download it, print it, and sign it. It does have to be signed, blue ink, and you can mail it to this address. This is 3515 Northwest 98th Street, Suite 200, Gainesville, Florida, 32606. And this is basically to allow us to make sure that the housing funds that we're putting aside is actually going towards funding homes. So let me drop that link inside of the chat so that you guys have it and you have access to it. Actually, Connie has done a great job of already inputting it into the chat. Okay, so please, very important, Housing Fund for Housing. You can mail it to that address. You can drop it off at any of our locations. You can leave it with your brokers, and all of these petitions will be submitted. Scrolling down, we are a little competitive, so we have a little section here where you can access the constitutional amendment tracker. Okay, so we're all part of it. Moving back into miamirealtors.com. So right on miamirealtors.com, there's a lot of great resources for you. One of those resources that is brand new is also called Rental Beast. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about Rental Beast. I also want to visit this little link over here on the advocacy page to talk to you about additional information. So let's get started first with Rental Beast. You can go ahead and either click on this icon or you can type in miamirealtors.com/rentals and you'll have access to Rental Beast. So this is a brand new program. It is a website that's complete with up-to-date rental market information. It also gives you guidance on how you can do your rental transactions. And you do have some paid for services and some free ones. So in order for you to access it, you can simply access it by going to www.rentalbeast.com. Okay, so you can go ahead and access Rental Beast. I did want to show you my account. Let me jump out of my account and take a step back. When you go into rentalbeast.com, in order for you to claim your account, you're going to come across this page. Once you come across this page, you're going to select that you're an agent. Once you select that you're an agent, it's going to give you access to input your first name, your last name, your email address. The email address that you want to input into the system is the email address associated with your account at the Miami Association of Realtors. Once you create an account, you can find additional information once you join. But I did want to make sure that you were able to see that you do have free access to free resources. So you can download infographics regarding rentals. You can also see downloadable copies of customer success stories. We're making such a big fuss about rentals because most new agents will begin their career creating a customer that has to do with a rental transaction. And rentals are fantastic, not only because it's quick money in the sense of those transactions tend to close faster. But aside from that, you're also able to convert those rental customers one day into possible buyer customers. So I did want to go ahead and show you that you do have Rental Beast available for you, and it does have plenty of free resources that you can do. Moving along, I also wanted to show you that you do have another section in your website. This is called your co-branded section. As you see on my page, I've accessed the co-branded material that has to do with the Miami Association of Realtors. If you've never accessed this page before, you can find it under services. But an easy way to access this page is to go into miamirealtors.com/co-brand. When you type in the word co-brand, it's going to receive, or you're going to receive, all of the marketing material associated with the association. So you have great flyers like the top 20 reasons to buy in Miami, videos as to why my customers should move into Miami. But what I wanted to show you in this class, since it's a rental class, is why rentals and leases. So we have great marketing material for you that's available. This is called the Miami Rental and Leases page, where you have information regarding rentals and leases. If a person were to list with you, right, a rental listing, these are all of the different sites that their rental would appear. So this is a fantastic marketing piece if you go on a presentation to be able to get a listing of a rental property. You do have verbiage for brokers and agents. So you do have that verbiage for property owners. When you list with me, your property receives the most US and global exposure. When you're working with a tenant or a renter, you also have additional verbiage that you can use. When you work with me, whether it's around the corner or around the world, they can help you, or you can help them find their perfect property. Then you have a list of all of the different websites where Miami members have their rentals or their lease listings featured. Let me go ahead and drop in that link. So if you wanted to access that flyer, you can go ahead and do so. It's a great piece and it's fairly new. Moving back into our website, there's another section that I wanted to highlight for you, and this is our advocacy section. The importance of our advocacy section is we have a Section 8 housing choice voucher section. So if any of you are familiar with Section 8, you should be. If you're not, we do have a section that's available for you. This is our Section 8 housing choice vouchers. You have information regarding Section 8. You have your HUD fact sheet. You also have your HUD inspection checklist. You can check for fair market rents, and you also have access to housing assistance payment contracts. So this is really important. If you're not familiar with Section 8, it's very important that you become familiar. I'm going to go ahead and click that information into the chat. And aside from that, I want to show you where you can find an in-depth class regarding Section 8. Again, if you're not familiar, it's very important that you do become familiar with Section 8. Inside of your Miami Gateway, you have access to Miami Realtors Live. Inside of Miami Realtors Live, not only do you have recorded classes on behalf of your technology team, but you also have classes on behalf of your educational department. So if I click inside of Miami Realtor Live, it's going to give me access to all of the different classes that are available for me based on topic. The one that's important for me to share with you today is the Section 8 class. So simply by typing section, you're going to have access to Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program, the virtual class, and it's going to be available for you to see. So I wanted to show you that you have this class available. Very important for you to be familiar with it. I'm going to pop that into the chat so that you have access to that class later. That's information regarding sectioning. Moving back into the website, there's another section that I wanted to show you, and this is assistant animals. Very important that we're familiar with assistant animals. Some of our customers are going to need them. We'll have access to them, and us as agents, we should have a resource for them. So this is your resource. It's on behalf of HUD.gov. Aside from that, there is a way that you can search for rentals to make sure that the regular pets are also allowed inside of your rentals, and we'll be talking about that the moment we get into Matrix. But I did want to show you that you have this information regarding assistant animals. It's going to talk to you about what are assistant animals, what kind of obligations do these homeowners have to meet the requirements of your tenants, different examples, right, of assistant animals in homes. And also if they're not allowed or you come across an issue regarding your customer and assistant animal, how you can find or file a complaint. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that link into the website as well, or into the chat. I'm going to go back into our Miami Gateway. And now that we're a little bit familiar with some of those rental resources that you can use, such as our co-branded material, our Section 8 additional information under advocacy, as well as the class. And I was able to highlight for you our rental lease program. Let's jump into Matrix and talk a little bit more about rentals. Moving down, we're going to tap into Matrix to access that program. And this is our rental, this is our Matrix program. In order for us to access rentals, our step 1 would be to hover over search. Once you hover over search, you have this section that's RNT. These are where you're going to find all of your residential rentals. Once I tap into it, it's going to give me our rental dashboard. Towards the left-hand side, you have the way to search. You can search by status, apartment type, waterfront information, or pool. We also have waterfront descriptions and different styles. I did want to highlight and stop at this style section because it's really important. You have to make a decision based on the type of rental your customer is searching for. Are they searching for an annual rental? That means that they're going to be leasing this property for a year, or are they looking for something seasonal? Are they looking for an Airbnb type style of renting something monthly? This is where this style section comes into play. So you do have your single family annual, you have your condo co-op annual, you have your apartment annual. You also have a duplex annual, townhome and villas. Basically, it's all of the different style of properties, and it's going to give you the difference between an annual or a seasonal listing. So really important to make that distinction when you are searching. So if they're searching for something seasonal, meaning monthly or short term, that is the verbiage that we use, or at least that's what we select. Now, I also wanted to highlight, let me unclick. I also wanted to highlight the type of properties. When we're inputting listings, we have to remember that other agents are the ones that are inputting the information inside of Matrix. When you're searching for either an apartment, make sure to also include in that search a condo. So there's a difference between apartment and condo, and that's basically ownership. A condo is owned, an apartment is rented. So when you're searching for condos, also search for apartments so that you don't lose a possible listing, especially since inventory is low and apartments and rentals tend to work at a much faster speed than homes for sale. Moving down, this is where you can find your amenities. Towards the middle is going to be the same as a property for sale. This middle part is all about how you can find a rental. It's about location. On the right-hand side, you do have a very similar search criteria towards the rental application as well as the properties that are for sale. The only difference on price is they don't have the additional zeros. You would have to input those numbers manually. Okay, so it would be the full 1650 through 2000, for example. Okay, towards the bottom, I can see my results. Let's do a quick search. I'm going to search for active properties. I'm going to search for, again, an apartment. That's going to give me 63 matches. I'm also going to go ahead and include my condos and my co-ops to make sure that I receive all of that additional information. I now have 425 matches. I'm going to look inside of a specific city. Let's go ahead and take a look inside of the city of Doral. Okay, and I now have 4 matches. Okay, so inventory regarding leases is short. So in other words, less can be more. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck the property type and I only still have 5 matches. Again, the only inputs that I've made is that I'm looking for an active property and my price range. That's between $1,650 to $2,000. Okay, if I'd like, I can go ahead and remove that price point and I have only 109. So really in the entire city of Doral, it's not a lot of inventory. I'm going to look for property that's under 2,000. This is a much better way to be able to find property based on the maximum amount that your customer can pay for a rental. That's going to give you the most property. So in the city of Doral, I have 13 matches. I'm going to go ahead and tap on results. Once I've tapped in results, I have my grid of all of the additional information. Now, you can see a little bit different when it comes to a rental. You're going to have that list price that it's available for, but you're also going to have the per section. So per week, right? So they can either sell it per week. This is $360 per week. This is a great example of how you can find or a different way to find a short-term rental. Another section that you have is per month. And another big distinguisher when it comes to renting is going to be whether those properties are furnished or unfurnished. So it depends on what it is that your customer is looking for. But these are some of the changes that we want to make sure to take a look at when we are searching and sending property to our customer, especially if you're creating an automatic email. You don't want to combine that short-term rental with those annual rentals. Let's tap into one of the options and take a look at that main property information sheet. So tapping into one of our rentals, we can view that this is going to be available on a weekly basis. There's another way that you can always confirm with the agent, but it does have additional information. So he did fill it out that it is a furnished apartment, that is a seasonal apartment, and you can verify this towards the middle. You can also see what months of the year is this apartment going to be available seasonally. So I can see that it's going to be available in May, in June, July, August is going to be available. So towards the summer, this customer rents out that space. Scrolling down, I did want to verify that you do have additional important information when it comes to short-term rentals. You can find that information inside of the remarks. You can also find that information when it comes to the broker remarks. So it is going to give you some additional information about the providence at the blue. He also does mention that there is an additional cost or hotel charge of $50 per day. There also is a cleaning cost of $120 per week. This is suitable for 4 people. You also have that same information inside of the broker remarks, but also includes additional information. And that is additionally from the $50 per day, included in the $1,500 weekly. $1,150 is going to the owner, $350 is going to the hotel. Cleaning is not included at an extra $120 per week, or rather $40 per day cleaning as the client requested. If these instructions, some of them are simple, some of them are a little bit more confusing. The best bet, if you have any questions with this about this property, is to contact the realtor. But again, very important when you're working with a short-term rental is to make sure to read those remarks and those broker remarks. Moving down, you can find additional information like the interior feature, the exterior features, and the amenities that are required. If you are doing a short-term rental, you want to make sure that that fob is included, or additional details on how it is that your customer is going to have access to these amenities, if they do or if they don't. During this pandemic, COVID-19 has had some restrictions on those amenities, and most customers, or some customers, are looking forward to using them. So if they do not have access during the time of lease, this is a question you want to verify with that realtor. Moving down, this is another really important section to make sure that you can see. You have your minimum lease period that's available, and that's 7 days. You have an application fee, so that's another detail that you want to make sure to view, as well as the approval process. So tenants do pay for a screening or an application fee. It also is going to include what the rent includes. So it is going to be including cable TV, an exterminator, and hot water. Moving down is the office information and how you can contact the realtor. Another important section is to view the commission for a rental. So in this case, this says 5%. It'll be 5% of that price per that week. So you want to look whether it's a 5%. Another common way that we receive our commission is going to be half a month, and it's calculated differently. So you want to verify that information on the MLS. Again, towards the bottom, it ends with the internet instructions. Another section that I did want to show you, let me tap on my condo plans. When you are renting a space, you can have your condo plans that are going to be available for some of these condos. In this case, this was not a good example, but I did want to show you that you have these little apartments and this little icon up at the top, and this is my condo plans. Normally, what you would have if the property allows, or if it's been inputted, is the condo plan or the floor plan of each unit, which I do like always expressing with classes about those, or about this feature, only because it's a great way to show the information to your customer. I did want to show you that you can go ahead and tap on the per section, where you can go ahead and view what's available per month and what's available per year, per week, and what's available per year. Okay, so the ones that are listed under 1,450 that are available per year, that's most likely not the case. So I did want to show you, if I tap on the MLS number, not to get waived by 1,450 per year. Sometimes it is an error that occurs when others are inputting their rental listing. So you want to verify with the listing agent, but also whenever you're going to report an error, if you ever see an error, I want to guide you and show you that you can. So whenever you see a data error inside of a listing, you can simply tap on this little yellow triangle. You can tap into it, and it's going to give you a form that you can fill out. This is basically, you can put in per year, should, month. You can access that little form. You can input the correction. This is a great way that we can work together as agents to send forms. It'll notify the agent of the error so that they can fix it. So I'm going to go back into our previous searches. So right up at the top right, I like to show you that you have this section up here that I can tap on. It's called recent searches. And I can tap on that last search that I was doing. To go back to all of my grid, I can tap on agent single line. And to go back into my criteria, I can tap on criteria. Okay, so what I want to show you, I'm going to get out of my city because I don't have a lot of results. Okay, and what I want to show you is additional features that I can add into my search result. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to tap into the add or remove section. I already have some really important additions to my search that I want to share with you so you can add them into yours so it's easier for you to search property. So I'm going to tap into add or remove and I'm going to show you the different fields that I've selected. So some of those are pets allowed. I've selected pets allowed because some families do have pets that they want to move in to a new unit with. And to tell you the truth, inside of Miami, there is many owners that prefer that their tenants do not have a pet. So I want to go ahead and tap into pets allowed to make sure that I can verify that before I can show them property. I also like to include available date. Why? Because sometimes customers will go ahead or agents will go ahead and list property that's currently not available as of yet, meaning the tenant is still in the process of moving out. So I like to tap on available date and make sure that I'm only sending them properties that are available and that are in line with their move-in date. Okay to advertise is another great one. I like to add okay to advertise if I work the rental market and I want to advertise properties that the broker and the agent has already okayed for me to be able to advertise. This is a great way for me to do some marketing on my rentals. I also like to include rental status based on the month. So if I select rental status, I select January, for example, I can search for seasonal rentals and if they're available at that time. Floor description, I always like to add only because there is some agents or some customers that I've come across that have a disdain for carpeted floors. Okay? But if you were to search for anything, for example, if I wanted to search pets allowed, you would simply start to type in the field that you're interested in, and you can go ahead and input it. There's another section called pet description that I'm going to go ahead and add. Pet description is important only because there is condos that are going to tell you, yes, we do allow pets, but sometimes they're going to have additional information like a pet fee or that pet has to be under 25 pounds, for example. So pet description is a great place where you can go ahead and input that information. Okay, I also like to look at application fee. Okay, so application fee is another field that I do like to input inside of my search. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. Once you've added the search criteria or some of the search criteria that you know you're always going to be using when you're searching for property, you can then click on back and you can start your searches. So for example, one of the ones that I wanted to go over today is the okay to advertise. I always like to talk about marketing only because marketing, prospecting should be an activity that you do on a daily basis. So one of those activities can be showcasing rental properties that are available under, for example, $2,000 a month. So I'm going to scroll down. I have quite a lot of property at the moment. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click yes, attribution not required. Yes, attribution not required means I can advertise this listing and I don't have to say who the agent is or who the real estate company is. Yes, attribution required means I do have to say who the realtor is, and there's 27 matches. And then there is yes, but written broker approval is required. That means, yes, I can advertise it, but the broker wants to know that I'm advertising it. So I have to submit to him the application or the permission slip requesting for me to be able to advertise this rental. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select yes, attribution not required, yes, attribution required, and then I'm going to play on the safe side. And when I post this listing or post these new rentals to my Facebook, for example, or send them out as a drip campaign to my customers, I'm going to go ahead and just add the requirement or add the brokerage to play on the safe side. Let me take a look at my results. So as of right now, I have 27. I'm going to go ahead and look at the results. And these are all of the property that's available. They're all available per month. Most of them are furnished or partly furnished, and most of them are 1 bedroom, 1 baths. Okay, so I'm going to tap on that MLS number. You can preview the different properties. Of course, you want to advertise the prettier ones. So this is a really nice picture. I can view it. It is available once a week. So a great idea of advertising. You can do a 3-part advertisement. You can do a short term, you can do an Airbnb style, and then you can do an annual style. So you can take from the 3 categories and create a really nice drip campaign for your customers or a marketing program. Now, if I wanted to find rental statistics regarding my market, I can also do that on Matrix. And I also want to teach you how to do that as well. Let me scroll up. I'm going to type on the icon, the Miami icon, and it's going to bring me back into my main dashboard. The section that I want to do that research in is inside of stats. So I'm going to tap on stats. I can see that the chat is heavy with questions. Thank you so much, Connie, for all of the assistance regarding the questions. I did tap on stats so that you guys can see where I am. So what you have available under stats is incredible. We have an amazing stats class if stats is something that you're interested in. If you're not interested in stats, let me tell you why you should be. So statistics are fantastic for building trust with your customer. This means that I'm giving them true information. I have numbers to back up my statements to them. It's also amazing to create marketing material using stats. It also gives me a great idea of what's going on in my farming area. And it also helps me be the local expert in a particular neighborhood. Also, if I want to list a property for a customer, this is a great way for me to have a feel of what's going on in a neighborhood. Also, rental stats change quickly, and they have changed significantly since we've gotten such a hot market. So many people are transferring into South Florida. Our inventory is low, and people are making a decision whether they want to, like our sponsor said, fall in love and move here, or if they want to do something short term. So price point is really important to figure out where it is that it falls inside of your category or inside of your farming area. So these are some of your system presets that have already been created for you. They have average days on market versus the list price median. This is a great statistic that's going to give you more or less how many days a property is going to be on the market. And then it's also going to give you that list price. So more or less, what are people listing this unit for? So if I were to tap, for example, if I were to tap on single family homes, right, that are for rent. So I'm going to scroll down and tap residential rental. And I'm looking in the county of Miami-Dade. Let's do smaller. Let's do a city. In the city of Aventura. So this is single family homes that are for rent in Aventura. And I'm looking for a 3-bedroom. Okay, then I'm going to tap on the system preset that I prefer. So I'm going to do average days on market versus listing price median, and then I'm going to generate that information. Okay, so you're going to have initially a graph. So if you're a visual person or your customer is a visual person, this will work really well for them. It's going to also give you those statistics from 2016 all the way to July 2021. So it's a full picture of how that rental market has changed in the city of Aventura pertaining to a larger home, or maybe a little bit of a larger home with that 3-bedroom compared to a rental of a 2-1, for example, then I can see that it does give me a guide. So the green line are the days to sell. And then the blue line is the list price. You have those days to sell on the left-hand side, and you have that price point on the right-hand side. I'm more of a data person. So if I tap on data on the top right-hand corner, I'm going to tap on data. And that's going to give me that additional information. Again, it's been since 2016, January, in the city of Aventura, a 3-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom single family home would be on market for about 42 days. And that price point was high. It was 3,900 was the median price that they would list these properties for. As I scroll down and move into July 2021, yes, that price point was high, but look at the price point now. Now, this could mix a little bit with that short term. Maybe it's a monthly short term price, but again, significantly higher than it was. And it's flying off the market. You're looking at 22 days. And 22 days is pretty fast for a rental of $5,250. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fact that you can export. Okay, so you can export it as a CSV if you'd like. And if I wanted to go back and do additional research on this, I can simply tap on search and I can do more research. So if I tap on search, you can go ahead and continue to do research. So let's say I wanted to get off the single family and I wanted to do the condo. Okay, so I'm looking at the condo. There's more condos in Aventura. I'm still looking for that 3-bedroom. And then type of property, I'm going to tap on condo. So it's going to show me the condo price. And then I can go ahead and tap on generate, but let's do a different one. Let's do historic sales price by year. Okay, I'm going to see the historic sales price per year in the city of Aventura for a condo with 3 bedrooms. Again, type condo. I'm going to tap on generate and just see what the system generates for me. So you do have the graph available initially. Again, we're going to tap on data and take a look at what that looks like. So it's going to give us that information month over month since 2015 all the way to 2020. Okay, this is some of my favorite data is done by year because I feel that, or generally speaking, statistics are better ran the whole year. Okay, so I can scroll down and I can take a look. As of December of last year, there was about 36 properties that were rented during that time. Let's try a different one. Okay, so property type, let's just stay with residential rental. And then we're going to tap on condo, 3-bedroom in the city of Aventura. And now we're going to generate and we should have a better number. So here we have month over month, year over year, how it's changed, the historical sales price. Okay, so we can see that as of December 2011 compared to December 2016, we have it in the first bracket. And if I continue to scroll down, I'm going to have 2017 compared to 2021. Okay, so we can see that change and that price point. So if you have any questions or you're curious about how it is that you should list a property, this is a great place to start just to find that initial information or create these additional presets or statistics on inside of your matrix. So if I tap back into search, I just wanted to highlight for you again what it is that you're going to select. When you're creating a search or a statistic inside of your stats, you're going to find it under stats up at the top. You're going to have your presets that you can choose from. And when it comes to property type, select residential rental, and then of course, select your others. So you can then select by city, bedrooms and bath, if you want to really narrow that search, and then type of property. Okay, so a great way where you can find that information. Also inside of rental beast, that's another section where you can find additional information about rentals. Let me go ahead and show you three other programs that are inside of the Miami Gateway that can help you with your rental transactions. So another section that you have available for you is going to be my rental tenant screening is going to be available for you. So I'm going to go ahead and tap into this. Okay, and what you have available is you're able to do either a rental application or a tenant screening. We like it for the tenant screening where you're able to see a safe rent score, a credit report. You're also able to see a multi-state criminal history report, an eviction history as well. So you can tap on screening and you have a few options. You have the basic model, which is $17.49. You have the premium model, which is $24.49. You also have the ability to, instead of selecting a basic or a premium, you can select just the service that you're looking to use. So either if you just need a credit report, you just need the eviction notice, if you just need the multi-state criminal report, depending on what it is that you need, you can select it. Let me show you an example of what that looks like. This is a great way that you're able to create this report and submit it to your customer. You're able to see that is a very complete report. You have a safe rent that takes many key factors before giving you that score. So it has the rent to income ratio, which is really important to some owners. You also have the credit report, the eviction history, the subprime loan history, and the collection agency information. And based on these key factors, it's going to give you a score. Okay, moving to the right-hand side, you have your average safe score based on geography. So it does take into play the city and the zip code. You have different alerts. So if there's any alerts that come into play with your customer, you can see that information here. And then you can see side by side your primary applications information as well as your co-applicant information. And it gives you in a very easy to see report, the credit report, that safe rent report, the inventory report, again, that multi-criminal. They also have the multi-state sex offender report, previous history information, and terrorist check as well. Okay, so very complete, very easy to use. If I were to select it, you would basically have to input the property information, the lease information, and tap on continue. What it is you're going to input the initial information. It's going to send over the information to your customer and they can continue inputting their application information and their payment information. You have another option that's available for you. Let me leave this. I just was in this one. Your my tenant or my rental tenant screening, and there's one more. Another great option is Landlord Station. You do receive one free tenant screening every month. When you tap to open it, your first step would be to add your property. You want to tap on Add Property and add your property by simply tapping on Add Property on the top right-hand corner. After you do so, you can go back to your dashboard and click on New Screening. Once you've clicked on New Screening, you can select to have your one free tenant screening, and we can see what's included. Your basic includes credit report with score, criminal records, bankruptcies, foreclosures, and medical reporting. The plus does include employment history. Once you've selected, you can scroll down and input the information of your tenant. You also have the ability to check off if you'd like to include the eviction report. You can also include multiple tenants by simply tapping on Add Tenant on the top right-hand corner. Scroll down, input your property address, input the payment information, and simply tap on Save and Review. If you have any questions, you do have an assistance. You can email Landlord Station or you can call 866-613-7773. This is a great way to get a tenant screening. And another fantastic product offered you free from Miami. Find Utility Connect on your dashboard. Simply click on it to activate. In order to activate your Miami Associations of Realtors Home Concierge Service, simply scroll down and click on Activate Free Service. Input your email address and a link to your website will be submitted to you. You'll receive a branded website with your information, and they can click to set up their services. They can simply select the services that they're interested in: electricity, TV, internet, mail forwarding, and more. They would simply input their information and click Request Callback. This is a great way that you can add another layer of service to your business for no additional cost. This is great for a tenant, but it's also great for someone who's purchased a home. Any customer would benefit from using Utility Connect. Let's move back into the Miami Gateway. Returning back to the home page, I just want to go over everything that we did today. So we did talk about Rental Beast. We also spoke about our co-branding flyers, including the Miami rental and lease flyer that you can use. We discussed Section 8 and where you can find it under Advocacy. Under Advocacy, we also found additional information you can find regarding assistant animals. We jumped inside of Matrix and we did some rental statistics. We also did some rental searches. And inside of the Miami Gateway, we talked about 3 great programs that you can use to do a tenant screening. We talked about My Rental Tenant Screening as well as Landlord Station. Both programs are very easy to use, and Landlord Station offers you 1 free tenant screening per month. We wrapped up the class with Utilities Connect so we can help all of our customers move in smoothly. With that, that is the ending of our rental class. If you have any questions for me, my email address is christy@miamire.com. Consider me a resource. Thank you for being a Miami member.